Hey guys, welcome to Friday's lesson. Today we're going to talk about Buddhism and its importance on the world, how it started, and how it spread from India to China. So you guys have probably seen this figure before. It's very popular around the city of Philadelphia, around the world. So I'm going to give you some more information about who this person was. Okay. So, this is a famous quote by Buddha. Each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. So, what do you guys think that quote means? Interesting. Maybe. Okay, we'll come back to it. All right, so just some background information. Buddhism started in the 6th century and soon became to rival Hinduism. So, they're like going head to head, and they're both extremely very popular at the time. So Buddhism is a philosophy, which is like a way of life, a way of thinking, based on the collection of teachings by a man by Siddhartha Gautama. There are no gods in Buddhism, unlike Hinduism, which had 33,000 gods, which is why it's not often referred to as a religion. So since there's no God, people don't really consider Buddhism to be a religion. That's why they call it more of a philosophy, which is a way of life. The goal in Buddhism is to reach nirvana. Nirvana is like an ultimate state of being, like your most happiest state. So it's the ultimate reality. That's how they define it. All right, so the founder is Siddhartha Gautama. He was born in Nepal, which is in India, in the Himalaya, right by the bottom of the Himalaya mountains, around the 6th century BCE. He was a prince. He was born to a king and queen, um, and he lived a very sheltered life. He thought like everything was great, nobody had problems. We were all just living the high life, an amazing life that we could possibly live. But at the age of 29, he saw something that really disturbed him. It kind of upset him. He saw an old man, which he'd never seen an old man in his entire life. That made him aware that people do get old. He saw a sick man, which made him see that people do suffer. He's never saw anyone suffer in his entire life. He saw a dead body, which he's never seen before. So this made him aware that people do die. And then he saw Holy Man, which we're going to talk about. And this Holy Man is going to change his whole thinking. So, since he's seen all this, he wanted to get out and see the rest of the world. So, he decided to abandon his wife and son, which he had at the time. He got rid of all his money, gave it all away, and he went out to seek something more. He wanted to know what else does this world have to offer that I'm not seeing. Okay? So, he's going to go and explore the world. And then for 6 years, he studied to live in a life of just nothing, very simple life, in self denial. He rejected all luxuries of the world. He didn't care about money. He didn't care about any like looking fancy. He didn't care about any of that. To try to understand the world around him, he sat beneath a tree and vowed not to move until he achieved his enlightenment, his highest being that he could be. So in a deep state of meditation, he had like an idea that to free yourself from suffering of the world and to get enlightenment, like to find both to free yourself and gain enlightenment, you had to find like a middle way, a middle path, which we'll talk about. So Gautama then became known as Buddha. Buddha means the enlightened one. He spent the rest of his teachings teaching others about the path of enlightenment, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and how to liberate themselves from suffering, how to no longer suffer as human beings. He's going to do this until the age of 80, is when he dies. So that's the story of Siddhartha Gautama. So he's going to come up with this idea of four noble truths. He's going to say, hey, we all suffer. Life is full of sickness and unhappiness. Though there are passing pleasures, they vanish in time. So sometimes you feel happy, but generally life is suffering. Simply saying in our words, life is hard, which we all know it is difficult at times. Number two, people suffer for simple reasons, things they desire. It is greed and self-centeredness which brings about suffering. So it's kind of like we bring suffering to ourselves because of our greed and our concentration on ourselves. And desire is never satisfied. If you get one thing, you're still going to want something else. If you get that, you're going to want something else. So desire just keeps going. So simply saying life is hard because we want stuff. If we didn't want stuff, life wouldn't be so difficult. So we make life hard on ourselves by desiring new sneakers, by desiring the latest iPhone. And then when we get it, we're not satisfied because then we want the next latest iPhone. So we bring suffering on ourselves. Number three says it's possible to end suffering if we are aware of it and we just say, hey, we're not going to do this. So this awareness will open the door to lasting peace. So simply saying, if you don't want life to be hard, stop wanting stuff. Stop wanting sneakers. Stop wanting the latest thing. Stop wanting to have things that aren't going to satisfy you because you're going to want the next thing. And then number four says by changing one's thinking and behavior, a new awakening can be reached by following the Eightfold Path, which we're going to talk about. And the Eightfold Path is a way to stop wanting stuff. So if you follow this path, then you won't have any of these problems here, is what they're saying. And the Eightfold Path is this. So strive to clearly understand the Four Noble Truths. So life is suffering. You suffer because you want things. To end suffering, don't want things. Essentially, that's what it is. Right thought. Think kindly of others. Don't have a negative mindset. Don't dwell on the past or the future. Don't worry about like things are gonna happen. Don't start to uh kind of guilt yourself by caring about the past. Right speech. Speak kindly to others. Don't say negative things and be truthful, but when you speak the truth, kind of word it in a way that's are kind words. Right action is act kindly towards all living things. Don't be attached to the results of action. So, like, don't be mean to living things. Like, if you see like a stray animal or something that's hurt, maybe you try to help it. So, or you just act kindly towards your siblings, which I know can be difficult because I have siblings as well, and I get it. But if you act kindly toward them, then you won't be angry, and you'll live a more positive life. Right work. Have a vocation does not harm others. So have like do the right thing when you're working. Right effort. Be determined to have a to cleanse the mind, which means like uh try to think positive thoughts and not negative thoughts for a negative mind. Right mindfulness. Be fully aware of what you're doing, always with a concern for others. So like whatever you're doing, be concerned how that's going to affect others. And concentrate during meditation to focus on being one. So like as you are meditating, try to concentrate your mind in a positive way so that you are living in a positive mindset. So those are the Eightfold Paths. Just stay positive, essentially, is what they're saying for the Eightfold Path. All right, so Siddhartha believed in reincarnation but rejected the caste system. So this is when it comes with a problem with Hinduism because Hinduism embraces the caste system. It says, yes, we need this caste system. But Buddhism says you don't need this caste system. It doesn't determine your next life. So this is going to start to cause a problem in India. But in Buddhism, they're saying that nirvana can be reached as a result of one's behavior in this life. So whatever you do in this life, if you're doing a great thing in this life, then that's how you reach your goal. That's how you reach your quote unquote heaven. So this is really going to appeal to people in the lower caste because they're going to say, hey, I don't need to, I mean, I'm going to live a good life, but I don't need to, this is not going to affect my next life because what I do in this life affects me and I can reach nirvana. I don't have to keep going around the wheel. Like, I don't have to keep going through samsara, birth, um, death, rebirth. I don't have to keep doing that because I could just live this life here and I'll reach my my happy place, my heaven, my nirvana. All right, so you're probably saying, how did Buddhism spread from India, which is, you can see here, this is where it started, and the arrows show you how it spread out. So Buddha did help spread it, but again, an emperor in the third century named as Asoka really is going to help spread the idea to China. And because he's going to be a great leader, and then he's going to start to interact with China during the third century, and he's going to help to spread the idea. So Ahsoka is going to be the one who takes Buddhism and kind of runs with it into China, and China really embraces this philosophy, this religion, and they really agree with it, and that's why it's so popular today in China. It's also popular in Korea and Japan, but it's really popular in China. All right, so I do hope this was helpful for you for this PowerPoint. So once you're done reading the PowerPoint, you're then going to read through this. This is reading about Siddhartha Gautama, who we just talked about. So you're going to read this section here, and you're going to type in your answers, use what is highlighted to help you. You're then going to do that again here. For this question, I filled in the first two. You'll see they're numbered. It says, what four sites left an impression on Siddhartha? We said the old man, illness and sickness, and then what else left? What else was he surprised about? The word serene means to be calm. The word decrepit means weak, and ill means sick. It's a fancy way of saying sick. The word emulate means to copy. Asceticism means a simple life, like you're giving up all luxuries, just like Siddhartha did. Deny means to not allow. Meditate means deep thinking. Enlightenment means knowledge and intelligence. When you have enlightenment. Alleviation means to lessen something, to alleviate something. All right, so you're going to fill in these answers, and then you're going to hit submit. And then some of these are your opinions. Please do not Google these answers. I'm asking, what do you think? That's why it's folded like that. All right, so once you're done this, you're then going to finish this exit ticket right here. So back to this quote, each morning we're born again. What we do today is what matters most. You're going to tell me your opinion on this, and then you're going to do the multiple choice questions. And there's 5 of them. All right, so when you're done, then you're going to click submit, and then you're all good. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned a lot about Buddhism. It is a pretty important religion and extremely important philosophy. It keeps your mind clean. It keeps you positive thinking. I encourage you guys to read more about Buddhism. It is a very calming and clean mind thinking philosophy religion, and it helps you get rid of all negative and unwanted thoughts and words. Okay, so if you guys have any questions or concerns, I hope that you contact me. Our Zoom sessions are every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 2 o'clock. You're welcome to join. If you want to do an individual Zoom session, I would gladly do that with you as well. Just let me know. I hope you have a wonderful day and stay safe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.